This is topic C on page 92, using proofing and research tools.
Although you may not always be asked to do so, it's likely that at some point you will have to share your workbooks with your colleagues. Whether you're presenting your workbooks in front of a live audience, sharing some data with colleagues in a meeting, or emailing your workbook files to other people, you'll want to make sure all your content is correct before doing so. In addition to ensuring that you have the correct data and formulas in your worksheets, you'll want to make sure everything is spelled correctly and that you're using all terminology correctly. This is why Excel includes spelling check and other functionality you can use to ensure your content is ready to present to others. Understanding how to use this functionality can help you make sure your worksheets are accurate and look professional. We can use our spelling dialog box to inspect our worksheets for spelling errors. Excel flags any text that it doesn't recognize as spelling errors and then lets you decide how to resolve those errors. You always want to start your spell check from the very beginning of your document. So you can either hit Control and Home or just select cell A1 to move your selection to the beginning. Then you would go up to your Review tab in your proofing group, and here we have our spelling command. This is going to open up our spelling check dialog box. It's the same exact thing as we had in Microsoft Word, only in Microsoft Word, if you remember, it opened up as a task pane to the right of our document. This is actually a floating dialog box. Still has the same exact options here, though. You can see it flags the first error. It tells us in cell F2 that we have the incorrect spelling of the word engineer. So assistant product engineer, obviously that is spelled incorrectly. Down in our suggestions list, Excel will give you a list that it thinks you may have meant to type. So here we have the correct spelling of engineer, and we can change this. It goes ahead and flags the next one, which is F3. Engineer is also spelled incorrectly here. Now instead of individually, you can see changing each instance of engineer, we can go ahead and hit change all. Brings us to a first name of Christy. Names we can usually ignore once, or we can ignore all in case they come up again. Meredith, ignore all. So that will keep it as is, and it will not flag it as another error within the worksheet. Shantae we can ignore. Felice, all of these are names, which are usually ignored. De Silva, Tisha, Christy again, Stam, all of these we can ignore. So this happens a lot when you have a list of names. All right, so our spell check is complete. Nothing else was spelled incorrectly, so we're good to go from here. Now we also have some other research tools. We have a thesaurus task pane. Suppose you wanted to use a different word for something you have in your worksheet. Let's say position. I don't really like it. It sounds kind of boring. I want to use another term for the word position. I'm going to select that cell, go to my Review tab in my proofing group, and select my thesaurus. Let me widen this task pane a bit so we have more room here. So this is going to give a list of synonyms. Now, when they say position, are they talking about location? No, that's not the meaning that we're using here, so we go to the next one. When they say position here, are they talking about their view on something, as in their position on a topic? No, that's not correct either. Position as in arrangement? No, not correct either. Position as in rank? Correct. This is the meaning of what we're heading for this column here. So I look at the options for this topic, and I like the heading of title. So I can hover over that and I get an arrow to the right of the word or phrase. And from that drop down, by clicking on the arrow, I can insert that, and it's going to overwrite position with the synonym that I chose. So it's a good way to mix up your word usage, or if something, doesn't sound right, it sounds too plain or boring, you can use your thesaurus to find a similar meaning word to use there.
Your textbook mentions the Smart Lookup option. This excuse me, this feature is no longer available in Microsoft Office 2019, so don't worry about trying that out because it is no longer available. Your next video will be Activity 3.3 on page 96.